Okay, everyone, thank you for your indulgence and patience, and I would like to open the Butte-Silver Bow Council of Commissioners Committee of the Whole meeting for Wednesday, March 9th, 2022. Could I have roll call, please?
There are 9 present, 1 presiding, and 2 absent.
Let the record show that Commissioners Reardon and Sorich are both excused for this evening. And Commissioner O'Neill, could you please lead us in the prayer and the pledge?
Almighty God, we implore you, look upon us and guide us this night as we make decisions which so greatly affect our community of Butte-Silver Bow. Direct our thoughts, words, and deeds so that we please you and best serve our fellow citizens. Amen.
Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Commissioner O'Neill. Moving on to our public comment on any items on the agenda that are on the agenda. Any comments from anyone in the audience? Seeing none, everyone's not making eye contact with me. I will move on to the report of the chair. I really don't have much to report tonight, so we can just move on into the body of our agenda here, starting with section 1, bid openings, public hearings, and/or presentations. Actually, item 1 is a public hearing, communication number 2022-97. Linda Sager Joyce, Clerk and Recorder, requesting Council of Commissioners authorization for a public hearing on March 9th, 2022, approved at the special meeting on February 23rd, communication 2022-90, so that we can accept a HAVA grant from the Secretary of State's office to be used to support parallel testing of the Elect Montana voter database. Do we have proof of publication?
Madam Chair, we do have proof of publication. It does appear to be in order.
Thank you. We have a staff report from Clerk and Recorder Joyce.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I am Linda Sager Joyce, Clerk and Recorder for Butte-Silver Bow. Tonight's public hearing is to accept comment on the acceptance of a Help America Vote Act grant. This grant will help us provide extra staffing so that we can run our election in parallel in the new database, in the proposed new database, and in our existing database.
Okay. Any questions from the council members for Ms. Joyce? Okay. Seeing none, I will open the public hearing. Anybody care to speak as a proponent for this request? Please come to the microphone. A second call for proponents. Third and final call for proponents. I would move down to ask for any opponents for the request. First call, second call, and third call. Seeing none, I will close the public hearing. Thank you. Next on here, we have communication. This is number 2, communication 2022-105. Mark Neary, Public Works Director, requesting time on the March 9th, 2022 Committee of the Whole meeting to present on the Rocker Water and Sewer District. Director Neary.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Commissioners, for the record, I'm Mark Neary, Public Works Director. I just want to give a real brief and quick update on the Rocker Water and Sewer District. Around 2015, Rocker was issued an administrative order because their sewer treatment facility was not complying with the effluent discharge permit they had. So that was right about the time that we, Butte-Silver Bow, had finished the new treatment plant that we have, and we no longer were using an effluent line that we used to send sludge and effluent to our sod farm out by Stauffer Chemical in the Tiffin. They saw an opportunity, once they looked at the cost to improve their facility that they have out there, they decided to shut it down, put in a new lift station, and send their sewage back to Metro Sewer, our treatment plant. Rocker hired the engineering firm of Dow. They did a design, were ready to go to bid, and then they found a flaw in the designs. They had to redo it, and that's kind of, I was talking to our Finance and Budget Director Gleason about if she knew, when she kind of became part of this, I think we all kind of came part of this decision-making in 2018. It had been in talk since 2015, but it all just kind of got ramped up, and especially Commissioner Callahan has taken the blunt of the blow from the Rocker District for all this time. But we have an avenue for them to send their sewage to us, and right now we're in the process of dissolving their district where we will take over. And as you can see, it's the Rocker Water and Sewer District. It's all one right now, but once the district is dissolved and we take over, it'll take a few months, and I'm thinking probably by the end of April, maybe even in a little later in the year, to get it to where, they're rate payers. We have to change the meters that are out there, figure out who's on sewer, who's on septic, who's on wells, and who's on our water system. So we do have some legwork to do, but, it's coming down the line right now. That I gave a timeline for everybody to look at, and before you know it, it'll be out to bid and under construction. So we're in good shape. We feel here at Butte-Silver Bow to take it on. It's only 25,000 gallons a day. It's not a lot. They're putting in a decent sized lift station that actually might be able to take on some more added sewage if we need to, and get some more users on the system. In the timeline, March 22nd, Rocker will perform their public hearing to dissolve the district. They will also adopt the plan if the public agrees for the dissolution. April 6th, the resolution will be submitted to this council and hopefully voted on and passed, that we will take ownership. April 13th will be the bid opening for the lift station, and that will be funded by Rocker Water and Sewer Assessment for the capital project that they have. But we've also received some ARPA funds that we applied for with both Rocker and Butte-Silver Bow. And hopefully May 4th, notice of award to the contractor, May 18th, council approval for a notice to proceed. The transition timeline, that's kind of what we're working through right now. Hopefully we don't have any bumps in the road, and it should go through smoothly. And one of the things which I kind of mentioned already is that we will just kind of keep it the way it is right now, the way they're paying for their water and sewer, and then we'll just slowly turn it into how we do here in Butte-Silver Bow. I probably left out a bunch of stuff, but I think that summed it up in a nutshell. But I'm open for any questions if anybody has any.
Thank you. Thank you, Mark. Any questions for Mark? Commissioner Frederickson?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Director Neary. One question I have is, so some residents of Rocker are getting water currently. Do we know how many?
Director Neary.
Madam
And then I
Chair,
have a follow-up too, sorry.
Commissioner Frederickson, we believe around 60 users right now, but because they are water and sewer, it's not
Okay.
broken out yet until we take over that district, and then we can figure it out. We actually, in the ARPA funds, we actually set aside some money to change out the meters that they have out there, because they're not the same as what we use in town here.
Okay.
Follow-up,
Yeah,
Commissioner Frederickson?
thank you. So 60, so we're anticipating 60 people will be metered or around there. And then maybe this is an obvious question, but they're currently getting water from Molten, correct?
Director Neary?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Commissioner Frederickson, no, they're coming off with our big hole line.
Okay.
So they have their own tank, and then there's a meter out of their tank that we charge Rocker, but then they charge their users through their meters.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Any further questions from the council members? All right. Commissioner Jenkins?
Thank you. So Director Neary, so are we anticipating, I see that like 60 users, and you said that it was 25,000 gallons per day. And what is the maximum? You said there was a maximum amount?
Director Neary?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Commissioner Mankins, I didn't say there was a maximum amount.
Okay.
The lift station that they designed, this isn't, it'll handle a lot more than this 25,000 gallons a day.
So if there is some growth, then we are anticipating that this lift will take care of that?
Director
Yes.
Neary?
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Okay, seeing none, thank you very much for that, and we'll look forward to your project with no transition issues. Okay. All right, so now we move into our section 2, communications. Number 1 is communication number 2021-299, Tristan Thomas, residing in Butte, Montana, requesting council commissioners to authorize Tristan Thomas to purchase the following property located at 2422 Pine Street, Butte, Montana, 59701. Commissioner O'Neill, you'll like this. We are going to be in contact with this particular applicant and the next one, and they're going to be in conversation with Dylan Pipinich in our planning department, because this has been on the books for 7.5 months. And, well, okay. Anyway, it all has to do with the survey, and I believe that we will just keep this on the books for 2 more weeks, and then we'll make a decision in 2 weeks. But Dylan has not heard back from the 2 applicants yet, so they basically have to get the survey rolling, and apparently there's some kind of a hitch in that. So we'll go from there. So if you, with your indulgence, I will continue to hold this in abeyance for 2 weeks. Item 2 is communication number 2021-335, Michael and Kellyanne Hovind, 241 William Street, Walkerville, Montana, requesting council commissioners authorization to purchase vacant land currently owned by Butte-Silver Bow. The land we are hoping to acquire includes 1.06 acre parcel and a segment of another 10-acre tract. And this is in the same mode as the first one. We will hold this in abeyance for 2 weeks, and we'll have some sort of a resolution by then. So we'll continue to hold that in abeyance. Item 3, communication number 2022-02, Melissa Odell, 21 Holly Lane, Butte, Montana, requesting council commissioners authorization to purchase a small lot that Butte-Silver Bow currently owns. The land owned by Butte-Silver Bow is located at 322 West Gold, parcel number 441-800, where I would like to build a small garage. I believe land sales met today, and they will come back with some kind of a, probably some kind of a recommendation back to this body, right? We'll hold that in abeyance. And onward to item 4, communication number 2022-72, Mike Clegg, Deputy County Attorney, requesting Council of Commissioners authorization for a public hearing on March 2nd, 2022, to amend the fiscal year 21-22 budget to receive grant funds from the Montana Office of Court Administrator, OCA, for the purpose of accepting the grant award of $5,000. We did have that public hearing last Wednesday, so Commissioner Frederickson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to place communication number 2022-72 on file.
We have a motion and a second to place communication 2022-72 on file. Is there anything on the question? Would everyone please vote? Would anyone care to change their vote? Would the clerk please record the vote?
10 yea, 0 nay.
Motion passes. Communication number 2022-91, Jenny Chambers, Waste Management and Remediation Division Administrator, requesting Council of Commissioners concurrence to have a presentation on March 16th, 2022 on the Blacktail Creek remediation pre-design investigation phase of this project. We will hold this in abeyance until the presentation on the 16th. Item 6, communication number 2022-94, Carrie Coe, Historic Clark Chateau Program Director, requesting Council of Commissioners authorization to schedule a public hearing for March 16th, 2022, concerning amending the fiscal year 2021-2022 budget to allow for increased expenditures of unanticipated revenue in the Archives Clark Chateau budget. We will hold that in abeyance until the public hearing on the 16th. Item 7 is communication number 2022-97, Linda Sager Joyce, Clerk and Recorder, requesting Council Commissioners authorization for a public hearing on March 9th, 2022, approved at the special meeting on February 23rd, communication number 2022-90, so that we can accept a HAVA grant from the Secretary of State's office to be used to support parallel testing of the Elect Montana voter database. We did have that public hearing this evening, so Commissioner Frederickson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to place communication number 2022-97 on file.
We have a motion and a second to place communication 2022-97 on file. Is there anything on the question? Would everyone please vote? And would anyone care to change their vote? Would the clerk please record the vote?
10 yea, 0 nay.
Motion passes. Item 8, communication number 2022-99, Dylan Pipinich, Planning Director, requesting Council Commissioners' authorization to schedule a public hearing for March 23rd, 2022, on the proposed changes to the Butte-Silver zoning district map on zone change application number 21-000004. We will hold that public hearing until the 23rd of March, so that will be held in advance. Item 9, communication number 2022-100, Dylan Pipinich, Planning Director, requesting Council Commissioners' authorization to schedule a public hearing for March 23rd, 2022, on the proposed changes to the Butte-Silver zoning district map. This is on change application number 22-000001, and we will hold that in advance until 23rd. And the last item is communication number 2022-105, Mark Neary, Public Works Director, requesting time on the March 9th, 2022 Committee of the Whole meeting to present on the Rocker Water and Sewer District, which we just had. So, Commissioner Frederickson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to place communication number 2022-105 on file.
We have a motion and a second to place 2022-105 on file. Everyone, anything on the question? Would everyone please vote? And would anyone care to change their vote? Would the clerk please record the vote?
10 yea, 0 nay.
Motion passes. Moving on to our public comment on any public matter that's not on tonight's agenda. I don't see anybody jumping out of their seat. So move along. And is there anything else to come before us this evening? If not, I would entertain a motion to adjourn. Commissioner? We have a motion and a second to adjourn. Would everyone please, all those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you all for this evening. Have a great evening, and this week looks like it's going to be nice.